Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into one of India's most ancient and, honestly, mind-bending philosophies, Sankhya. It gives us this incredible map of reality, and it all starts by challenging us to ask a really simple but totally profound question. Just think about that for a second. What if this entire complex universe, from the biggest galaxies all the way down to the thoughts you're having right now, what if all of it came from the interaction of just two basic principles? That's the wild, revolutionary idea at the very heart of Samkhya. So here's our game plan for unpacking this. First, we're going to get our heads around this idea of a dualistic universe. Then, we'll get properly introduced to the two big players, spirit and matter. After that, we'll look at the three cosmic forces that pretty much drive everything. We'll see how the world actually unfolds from all this. And then, the big one, we'll connect it all back to the ultimate goal, which is liberation. Okay, so first up, this whole concept of a dualistic universe. Samkhya is built on something called dualistic realism, and trust me, it offers a really powerful and maybe even surprising take on what's actually real. Now, the key word here is realism. See, a lot of spiritual philosophies might tell you that the material world is just some kind of illusion. But Samkhya, it says nope. It argues that both spirit, which is pure consciousness, and matter, the physical world you see and touch, are both fundamentally equally real. They are two principles that have existed forever, side by side. One didn't create the other. So let's meet the two main characters in this entire cosmic drama. On one side, we have Purusha. That's the name for spirit or pure consciousness. And on the other side, we have Prakriti, which stands for, well, all of matter, everything. And these two could not be more different. They're total opposites. Purusha is pure, unchanging awareness. It's the silent, totally inactive witness. Just think of it as the eye that sees but doesn't do anything else. Prakriti, though, is everything that can be seen. It's the dynamic, active, constantly changing material world. So Purusha is the subject, the knower, and Prakriti is the object, the known.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, if one is totally inactive and the other is totally unconscious, how does anything ever happen? Well, Sankhya uses this brilliant analogy. Imagine Prakriti, which is active but unconscious, is like a blind man, full of energy but can't see where he's going. And Purusha, the conscious but inactive part, is like a lame man. He can see perfectly but he can't move. So for the universe to get going, they have to team up. The lame man gets on the blind man's shoulders and guides him. See? Consciousness needs matter to have something to experience, and matter needs consciousness just to be seen, to be witnessed.
So if Prakriti is all the raw, energetic stuff of the universe, what makes it stuff? What makes a rock different from a thought, or joy different from sadness? The answer is in three fundamental forces, or qualities, that are literally woven into the fabric of matter itself, and these are called the gunas. So before creation kicks off, Prakriti is just pure potential. The three gunas are just sitting there in this state of perfect balance, like three strands of a rope that are perfectly still. The potential for the whole universe is packed in there, but it's completely dormant. It's waiting for a spark. Okay, let's break these down. First up is Sattva. This is the quality of light, clarity, harmony, pleasure. It's that feeling of peacefulness or really clear thought. Then you've got Rajas. This is the force of activity, motion, passion, even pain. It's the energy that makes you ambitious or the feeling of being restless. And finally, there's Tamas. This is the quality of heaviness, inertia, darkness, ignorance. It's that feeling of lethargy when you just can't get out of bed. Literally, everything you see, feel, or think is just some unique combination of these three forces. And here's the crucial part. These gunas are never static. They are always in this constant cosmic dance, this perpetual tug of war. Each one is always trying to dominate the others, which creates this constant tension. And it's this very conflict, this contradiction and cooperation, that becomes the engine of all creation, producing every single object and every single experience in the universe. So we've got our players, Purusha and Prakriti, and we've got the forces that drive them, the gunas. So how do we get from that to, the universe that we actually know? This is what Samkhya calls the process of cosmic evolution.
So how does it all get started? Well, it's not a physical push or anything like that. It's actually way more subtle. The mere presence of the conscious Purusha acts kind of like a magnet. Just by being near Prakriti, it disturbs that perfect sleeping balance of the gunas. It just wakes them up.
It never touches them, but its presence alone is enough to kickstart the entire chain reaction of cosmic evolution.
And this whole unfolding happens in a really precise order, from the most subtle thing you can imagine to the most concrete. First, from that stirred-up Prakriti, you get Mahat, which is basically the cosmic intellect, the potential for intelligence in the universe. From that comes Ahankara, and this is the ego, the principle of I-ness, that sense of being an individual. Then, that I sense creates all the tools we need to experience the world: our mind, our five senses, and our ability to act. It's only after all of that psychological stuff is in place that the physical elements we know, like earth, water, fire, and air, finally come into being. So, okay, we've got this absolutely incredible cosmic blueprint, but Samkhya was never meant to just be some abstract theory about the universe. It's a practical philosophy. It's designed to answer the most fundamental human question: why does any of this matter to you? And that brings us to the ultimate goal: liberation.
And yeah, this is the question, isn't it? If our true self, our Purusha, is eternally free and peaceful and unchanging, if it's just a calm spectator, then why is our life so often filled with stress and pain and anxiety and suffering? What's the disconnect here?
Well, according to Samkhya, the root of every bit of our suffering comes down to a simple but profound ignorance. It's basically a case of mistaken identity. Our true self, the Purusha, forgets that it's just the silent witness. It looks at the whirlwind of thoughts, the drama of the ego, the pains of the body, all of which are just products of Prakriti, and it makes one crucial error. It thinks, that's me. And in that moment of identifying with things that are temporary and always changing, we open the floodgates to suffering.
So the way out isn't about escaping the world or hating your body. The path to liberation, or apavarga as it's called, is a path of knowledge. It's about developing the wisdom, the clear discrimination to tell the difference between your true self, the unchanging Purusha, and everything else. It's that profound aha moment when you realize you're the silent witness, not the chaotic movie that's playing in front of you.
And what's so amazing is that this freedom isn't something you have to die to get. It can be achieved right here, right now, in this life. It's called Jivan Mukti, liberation while living. This doesn't mean that life's ups and downs magically disappear. The waves on the ocean still come, but you realize that you aren't the wave. You're the vast, deep, calm ocean underneath. You're free from the suffering because you're no longer attached to all that churning on the surface.
And then there is the final stage, Vidha Mukti, or Kaivalya. This is the ultimate, absolute liberation that happens after death for someone who has gained this wisdom. This is where the story reaches its final, quiet conclusion. It's the complete and total release from the cycle of rebirth, the final, peaceful separation of consciousness from the material world. So, this whole magnificent system of Samkhya, from the birth of the cosmos all the way to our personal freedom, really comes down to this one final question. A question for you to really sit with. In your own experience, from moment to moment, are you the observer, or are you the things that are being observed? The answer, Samkhya tells us, holds the key to absolutely everything.